Good morning. I hope everybody's having a great week. Um, my name is Lana. This is Tarot, Oracle, and Runes. Welcome back to my space. So, guys, this is what I'm going to call a mini reading, okay? So, it's going to go kind of quick, even though I have quite a few cards out here. So, I just asked the angels. I pulled my angel deck, and I said, what are some people going through internally right now? What are they going through internally? What kind of emotions? What kind of, because of changes in the outer world that they're seeing, what's going on inside? And I did one yesterday about, what kind of level of courage are you facing now? And it's funny because I shuffled the cards really good, and I pulled three of them. Actually, two of them jumped out, and I pulled one. So the first thing we have is the angels are telling you that it's time to be courageous. Your bravery increases with each step that you make in the right direction. They just want to remind you that you can become more confident and courageous by facing your fears. Do you have a fear right now that you're facing? Something that you need to let go of? Maybe something that's new, something that's old. It slowly begins to wither away when you face it. Okay? Sometimes realizing why you're scared or what's fearful for you helps you to go, well, wait a minute, that's an old belief, an old feeling, an old, this present situation is way different than anything I've experienced before, or that situation that I'm seeing that might affect me in some way is something that's been ongoing and I've been having this fear, and I'm beginning to see that I can move past this, okay, or I can make a different decision. Okay, so you're taking back your power. So this fear will then slowly wither away. And as a result, you start to grow into the courageous person you're meant to become. Guys, I don't care what you're going through at any present time. Always facing your fears and realizing why you're fearful is 3/4 of the battle. Okay, so rather it's something you're scared of happening, or happening to you, or happening around you that you're scared you're going to be the next one, or something that's even more personal, a relationship, a job, something that's no longer working for you. Start thinking in a different way about it so that you can let that fear go. Figure out why you're scared, and then figure out a few options of how to overcome that. That will go a long way too in helping you be able to look at that fear in the face and say, okay, I'm not going to let this control me. Okay, I'm going to step past this and step into something new, a new way of looking at this, and get rid of it. Okay. Also, we got forgiveness. The door to your heart opens inward. Okay? I move through forgiveness to love. The angels want you to remember that self-forgiveness doesn't happen overnight. You need to approach it exactly as you would approach forgiving someone else, with a lack of ego, a compassionate heart, and a patient and preserving mind. Sometimes when we do something stupid, or we do something that we didn't think out, or we do something impulsively, we later go, I'm regretting this now. All right? But that's how we grow. That's how we learn. So anything that you are now facing right now that you need to forgive yourself for, because we all make mistakes, right? We all get into bad relationships, or we all get into a job where 2 years later you're tired of seeing the same old BS where some people are moving ahead. You do the same job, but yet you're not getting as much pay. And it's you got to forgive yourself and move on from things, because that's how you learn. Keep the lesson and accept that self-forgiveness of, okay, this was just another mistake I made. One in many, I'm sure I'll make more. I say that to myself sometimes. So being self-forgiving of yourself and the mistakes that you've made makes it a lot more when you just can stand back objectively and look at it and say, okay, this is something I went through. I should have seen this, or I should have seen that. You know what I mean? Sometimes we see red flags and we totally just ignore them. I had a friendship a long time ago that I saw red flags and I just totally ignored them. Okay? I heard someone else talking about this today too in a conversation, and I was like, sometimes you just have to forgive yourself, even if you ignored something, and realize you just didn't want to see it. Sometimes we don't want to see things. So do some self-forgiving, okay? Because you're here to learn. And then we have just breathe. Inhale. I am relaxed. Exhale. I'm at peace. Don't let nobody, no situation, even your kids, spouse, don't let them take away your peace. If there's something you need to do to find peace for it, or even this is talking about deep breathing. Deep breathing calls you back to the moment. It slows you down, taps you into your sense. It reorients your mind. So the angels ask you, if you find yourself stressed, racing thoughts, unable to focus, remember to breathe. So taking 5 minutes out to meditate once or twice a day, and seriously, you can do this for 5 minutes. You know, everybody's got a cell phone, right? Look at your cell phone and say, in 5 minutes, I'm just going to sit and breathe. You know, you can do it on a city bus. You can do it on a bench park in the park. You can do it in the bathroom if you have to. You know what I mean? Especially if you're one of those jobs where everybody's paying attention to everybody else. And there's that one coworker that always drives you nuts. You know what I mean? Go to the bathroom. Close the door. Say, okay, I'm going to take 5 minutes to de-stress and breathe. I have to remind myself that a lot, guys. Because I'm naturally ADHD, so, you know. But yes, remembering to breathe can help you to relax. All right. So, this also right now, this angel message is also talking about a lot of regeneration going on because Pluto is in Aquarius. A lot of old structures are breaking down. A lot of things are changing. I'm actually going to read y'all this card. This is from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. What card number is this? 46. Regeneration. It's one of my favorite cards because it always means that you are changing, growing. Things are shifting. And things are just becoming different because of things going on the planets, things going on. Oh, there's the, no, that's the observer. Things going on. So I want to read this one to y'all so that you can, where is it? Let's see. 47, that's one more back. Okay. Regeneration, rebirth, second chances, new opportunities. Okay, so there are things on the brink of the horizon that are coming in. Second chances are available. Whatever opportunities you thought were dead or revived in a more authentic, stronger form. Whatever you may perceive as a failure or a loss, okay, now is being replaced by something better and more powerful growing in its place. Rebirth is assured. Step into your new life. Destiny is being fulfilled in wondrous ways. Okay? And our world is based on connections and relationships. So no matter what kind of loss you've had in the past, death and endings are only illusions. You know, there's life after death, love after loss. You're radiating the regenerative life force energy that makes you irresistible to love in all forms. Now's the time when you can see emergence of this new growth. Can you feel it? What happens? And then we have a prosperity message here. What happens when it appears you failed at something? Relationships, jobs, whatever. Do you see the beauty in the lesson? Guys, that's funny because we actually have the Walking in Beauty card here. It's a seed that lies dormant for a time, then when it germinates in your subconscious, it comes through in your awareness. It's becoming apparent there's a new you, a new start, which is why sometimes we have to be courageous and forgive ourselves and let go of things that we're outgrowing. A more powerful version and form of you is what you began to plant in the garden of your imagination, and it's surfacing. So now these new opportunities, better than those that came before, they're going to feel like gifts from the universe, gifts from God or something like that. It's one of those times when seeing out of feeling like you've lost something or failed at something comes abundance. So don't dwell on the past because you really are experiencing a rebirth, regeneration. So endings come in a lot of forms, and it's time to stop holding on to anything that needs to die so that y'all can have something better come into its place. You know, nature has its own cycles. Like you see a tree fall over. We have disease, decay, death, and regeneration, which is all about Pluto, right? So don't be afraid to face the facts. There's no need to struggle. Whatever you're asking about, let it go. You're about to come through this and be reborn, a new, different you, okay? And Pluto and Aquarius, guys, so funny that we get the regeneration card, right? So then we have community, all right? Find others of like mind. Find other people that have the same ideas you do, rather online. I was just actually talking to someone this morning and telling them, you know, somebody was talking about a situation that she had her first child when she was very, very young, and one of her parents made her feel ashamed all of her life. She says, even now, and I tried to meet other people and everything, and I just got tired of it. And my last ex, they actually had the same moon sign as my mother and my father, and so I was seeing the same things all over again. Why are you going to... Parents, you know, you can stay away from parents if you have to once you're grown. But spouses, friends, they are not meant, you know, not all of them are meant to stay with you. If they're always putting you down for something that, especially like having a child or doing something when you were younger that you can't change, and they're going to continually make you feel bad for it, and it's something that happened 20 years ago, guys, kick that crap to the curb. Find people that understand where you're coming from. That is very, very important. You know, that finding people that can understand why you made a decision or why, and sometimes you don't even need to tell people sometimes, but finding people of like mind that understand where you've been to, and been back from, hell and back. those are the people that are going to support you, that are going to hold you up. They're going to say, yes, it was, you made a mistake, but you know what? I did something similar. So I actually told this person that, I too was a mother at a very young age. Okay. And I now have 4 grown children, 12 grandchildren. I realize that's TMI, guys, but I'm just making a point that I found other people. I found 2 other girls in school when I was still in high school. I found 2 other girls that also, one had gotten married real young, one had had a baby and given it up for adoption. And all 3 of us understood different aspects that everybody else couldn't understand. Find people of like mind that understand where you've been and where you're, what you're doing and where you're going. Okay? Because then you have support. The ones that don't believe are going to treat you the wrong way or say the wrong thing all the time. Get those people out of your life. I'm not kidding. It's time to go on that stuff. Some of these people, it's just time to get up and leave those, you know what I mean? You can't always say goodbye to your parents, but you can move to another state, or whoever raised you, or whatever situation is that you're going through. You can always go somewhere else. Keep, call them only on the holidays, or, whatever choices that you make. Now you have to face the consequences of those choices, but sometimes it's just time to go from that stuff. Okay, it's time to move on from the past and time to look for the new future, which, as you can see in this card, the future, as you move towards it, it's not quite clear yet, but it's time to leave this behind. So you may be in between worlds right now, some of you. Okay, so even if you're in between the past and you're still making a decision or something and the future's not looking quite clear, there's new things coming to you. Maybe it's time to now deep think about what exactly is it you want to create, or how you want your life to look. Maybe you need to strategize and sit down and actually literally write a plan, because things are coming up to the forefront. Find things of value, find a logical path. This is a time to, and 44 is a power number, it's a master builder number. Time to re-strategize and rethink how you want your future to look. And guys, sometimes you have to plan, and you don't have to plan out every single detail. You don't need to go overboard, but have an idea of where you want to go, the kind of people you want in your life. Sit down and write that stuff out. Make a vision board. These are the kind of people I want around me. Make a vision board where you put a picture of yourself in the middle. One area is where you're the new kind of people you want to see. This one is the new kind of maybe job or the next thing you want to do if you're in between jobs. This is the next thing of, these are the kind of things that bring me joy. Like maybe I can join, I like to walk in the park a lot or the woods. Maybe I can find a nature group to join, or maybe there's a group that once a month they go, if you're older especially, some of the senior citizens take trips. They take the seniors like once a month or every 2 weeks somewhere. Maybe you can join something like that to find more people of like mind. Or if you're younger, maybe you join some kind of new book reading group, something that you like. Think about how you want your life to look and bring the things to you that make you happy, that bring joy to your life. All the naysayers, all the negativity from the past, or someone that's always putting you down for your beliefs or something you say or do or something you've done, that's not for you. That's not for you. It's time to walk away from that and do something, find the balance that brings you happiness. Okay? And sometimes if it makes you stuck between 2 decisions, okay? And I'm seeing this card as inner, the white is like inner work you have to do, or inner work, outer work that you need on the outside, and inner work, or vice versa, however you want to look at this, or inner stuff you might need to still work on, okay? Maybe you need to look at a pattern, or maybe you need to look at, why do I keep attracting, this type of situation, or these type of people, and I'm ready to let it, I need to maybe figure out something about myself, right? And that's going to go along with this strategical, how do I want my life to look, okay? Anything that is not bringing you the joy and happiness that you thought it would. You can give it a certain amount of time, but sometimes you need to have some more self-love in there, okay? Because truth be told, and guys, I'm not going to use the cuss words that go with this little saying, but if they don't feed you, sleep with you, or pay your bills, truth is, and you can take care of that yourself, guess what? How much do you really need some of these people in your life? You know what I'm saying? Because rejection is God's protection. Some things are become illusions. People will tell you who they are, and for those that sometimes we intentionally, like I said again, sometimes may look at red flags and ignore them, but those red flags are there for a reason. They are talking to your higher mind of, this is why, you need to pay attention to this, okay? That's the truth of the matter. Did you see some red flags, or was something said or done, or something you actually witnessed other people doing? That was a red flag of how things are beneath the surface. Okay? Sometimes we ignore the red flags. I don't want to say intentionally, but you'll see them and you just pretend like you didn't see them. Truth is, you need to see them. Because if you see red flags, rather someone you just met, or even someone you've known for a long time, and you suddenly start thinking about all the red flags you've seen over the years, and then they do something else, and it's like the straw that broke the camel's back. And you're just like, okay, the truth of this matter is they're just not meant to be in my life anymore. Or this job, it's time to walk away from this job. Or it's time to go a whole total different direction. All right? So... and that could also be the angels coming in and telling you this. This could be your spirit guides telling you this. This could be your friends, new like-minded community that you're seeing. You mention something and they go, oh, wow, you did? Gee, I wish I'd have known you then. I would have told you to do this, or I would have told you to not do this, Sometimes you get those little oracles come up from other people that tell you things that you go, gee, I wish I'd have known you months ago. I would have paid attention to that. Okay? So then we have the fates. This is a time, whatever this situation is, where you really are powerless to change it, especially if it involves other people. So you're invited to accept this, and more than ever, to get past whatever this is, okay? And this is kind of like what's going on underneath the surface, guys. And this is what they're telling you is on the surface, okay? So your intuition is speaking to you. There's still some work to be done, and on some kind of inner way, you are starting to get that love for yourself. You see all the little hearts here? Okay, you are starting to love yourself and open up to how you feel and think about things, okay? And I do believe that the fates are going to be on your side with this. Anything that's not resonating, it's time to align our lives, guys. This is Pluto and Aquarius, and it's time to make changes that are going to work with all these new energies and how life moves forward in the future, okay? So then I asked, well, what is going to come up? And I got 4 cards here. What, after all this goes through, going into the future, what is there? Okay? And I haven't gotten this card in a while, so it kind of really strikes me as walking in beauty. So maybe you need to take the time to literally bring some flowers in the house, go to one of the parks near you, or go somewhere near you. Every time you go there, it's like, you go out to it, and it's like a breath of fresh air. Okay? Maybe you need to clear out clutter in your house. Anything that makes you feel like you're being stagnant or stuck needs to go. Okay? Bring in flowers. I actually brought in, I have 2 bowls of, actually, I'll just show y'all. I got them the other day. Someone actually gave them to me, and I was like, oh, I love the fact that they're almost blood red. Okay? So she gave them to me, and I automatically did up a couple of little, well, it's a jar, but I automatically brought some beauty into my house. So, and there's another one. It's back up there. You can't see it. There's some more of them up there. Look at that. Is that not a beautiful, deep red color? And some of them are not even opened up yet, guys. It's just in a regular little jar. I have very few vases anymore because, you can see I have nowhere to put them. But look, I brought some beauty in my house. I absolutely love that blood red color of those carnations. Okay? So do something that's going to make you feel better. All right? And then we've got the circle of life. All right? And this is talking about beginning to dream, beginning to, some things that are about over, and you are making up how important you are in your own mind, and starting to realize that this is just another lesson, and you've come to yourself in some way, okay? Sometimes when we're standing in the middle of this, and we have all these other external situations going on, sometimes we have to realize that now it's time to step out of this little circle. It's become, is that a person standing there? And maybe it's supposed to symbolize, I think it's just a rock, because it's actually spiraling in. But sometimes when you're here and you start seeing these outer things and you know it's time to walk away, you walk out and it expands your life experiences. It expands your knowledge and deep knowing about yourself and how energy and things work for you, what you're outgrowing, what it's time to step into. And going through time, however you want to look at this, either going outward and experiencing and learning and expanding your knowledge, or even going deeper in and knowing yourself even more. You can look at that 2 ways, okay? So are any of you doing that right now? Going deeper inside and learning about yourself even more and what you want and don't want? Or maybe you're expanding your awareness of things and people around you that you just never paid attention to, and you're starting to go, oh, it's time to change this, okay? So then we have Song of the Wild. I haven't gotten this one in quite a long time. And it's, let me actually read this one to y'all. Where did I do the book? So, Song of the Wild to me is talking about, I went right, look, guys, I went straight to it. So new horizons are awaiting you after you, going into the future. with this, okay? Answer the call of the wild. Stepping out of your comfort zone. Expand beyond your limitations and boundaries. Take a journey, do something new and exciting. Do something you haven't done before. Go to a little city near you that you haven't gone before. Maybe you live next to the ocean and you want to go see some mountains. You know, even if you just go somewhere and watch a movie that has mountains in it, right? I know there are some places. I know there's a place when I lived in Tampa, Florida, that it was the Mosey. It was the science and innovative place. I can't remember. It was the Museum of Science and Industry, Mosey, MOSI. They had a this really weird looking theater. I can't remember if there's a name for it. But me and the kids went in. Me and my son and my daughter went in and we watched some kind of space movie, and there it talked all about space. So maybe you want to go watch a movie that talks all about the mountains, or you can go to a place where there's mountains, or vice versa. You're in the mountains and you decide to go down to the coast. Okay. So if you feel hesitant, it's time to try something new and do things in a different way. All right. So maybe you go to a park that's, you know, a few hours away you haven't gone to. You take a hike. You know, adventure entails risks, but without it, life can become stagnant. So there's some kind of new vista right around the corner, but unless you venture out to see it, you're going to miss it, okay? And this is going to bring you into the shapeshifter energies. Being authentic. Let go of any kind of attitude or attachment to the part of your identity now, because every time we go through a lesson or relationship, or even when you get into a new relationship, you do shift, you do change, because now there's other energies around you. Every time you change jobs, you kind of have to shift and change to do the job, right? Especially if it has different responsibilities than the old job. So be authentic. Shift into a new belief system so that you can learn and put into being the new you. This is talking about a sense of identity as well on this level. Because every time we come out of something, you're always stronger after that. After you learn the lesson and come through it, there's always, in some new way, because now you have the wisdom that you now see after going through something. Rather, you lose a job, have a baby, have somebody, an ancestor or a relative that passes on, or a friend, or you move to a new place, or you start studying a new subject, whatever. You always shift and change because you grow, okay? So this is talking about shifting and changing and growing from this. So again, the angels remind you, have courage, do some self-forgiving, breathe. You are going through a period of regeneration, and the future is going to change, and there's letting this all go and realizing whatever this is, that whoever this is for, the energies, the fates, your spirit guides, your angels are on your side. Okay, they're saying this is just another lesson. Let it go. Step into the new you. Change your perspective of how you see yourself and move on to something better. All right, guys, this is what I have for you. This was actually supposed to be a lot smaller, but I really loved the message, because every time I get something to do with regeneration, it's talking to me, it's screaming at me actually about this Pluto energy, because Pluto was in Capricorn for so long, and now it's in a whole nother constellation, and the energies have shifted, and we are shifting and evolving as well. And there's a lot of new stuff coming in, guys. A lot of things. So I hope this helps somebody. And just remember, this is just like, just one tiny part of your life where it may be something bigger. I don't mean to sound like I'm putting anything down. But anyway, guys, shift into a new perspective of yourself. Remember the angels, courage, self-forgiveness, and just breathe. Lighthouse.